Halo Infinite was something that I was really excited about. I thought for me, like, we had BR starts.
I was excited at first too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this. I felt like this has this like secret sauce that could be. This could be it. This is Halo Infinite. Um, and then it kind of just had like three maps for a year.
Yeah. It's never the gameplay. It feels like it's the gameplay's good enough to hold the game, but when there's no content and there's nothing like supporting.
I will. This is what I will say. I'll give like Tahir, like Tashi. Like I will say that given the circumstances that they have, I still feel that HCS punches above its weight class within respects of like this isn't the LCS numbers. This is a console exclusive, at least for right now. I think like the fact that they continue to double down and like try to support it, I think is like pretty awesome because
It is awesome. It is awesome. They could just not be doing anything.
For sure that behind the scenes there's battles for that. For sure.
Oh yeah, they're getting grilled. I guarantee it.
Right?
Yeah, there's no. That's the same thing I'm sure with EA as well when it comes to Apex and like where the rev sharing conversations come in and bottom lines, and it's just
dude,
it's
like
much deeper, and like some of the reasonings that we've heard for skin sharing and all that, but. I mean, it kind of comes back. I always laugh about this with just the organization reciprocity and using that word more freely after like being on and seeing about it and thinking that is what it stems down to, and no one is willing to kind of budge on profits on like their areas of where they make it and sharing and trying to uplift everyone around them, and it's just like. In the company, it sucks that some of the companies that do it well, like Halo had a great system. Like other games that do like the rev sharing, there's some of them that have a great system but don't have the support at the top, or other orgs aren't doing enough. Certain things like that, and it's just. I think we've seen recently the largest discrepancies of like pricing in the markets and all that, and.
And did you just see Luminosity? I just saw
sold for like 650K or something,
plus like 3 million debt.
Yeah,
so
a lot of debt.
So here's like my hot take on that. Like, and this is no disrespect, but I just feel like if you're gonna basically take on roughly 4 million US, like you could, and I know Luminosity is an amazing brand, it's got that legacy, but at the same time, like you could start fresh and inject that 4 million and just focus on like, one or two titles, and you might be further ahead. I feel. I don't know. Like I don't know obviously all the inner workings, but it's crazy to see like when I was with reciprocity, like with TSM and like everything that's happened to the TSM, like the whole and even like EG, everything has just been it's been a crazy time since COVID, and I don't think that esports is fully recovered from that, but at the same time there's like some orgs that seem to be doing okay, like the guys here in Toronto. What's they have the COD franchise that I don't know why the name is evading me.
Or something.
No, Toronto, Ultra Overactive Media. That's the name.
Okay.
That's the overarching
the parent company.
Yeah. So like they seem to be doing okay. I don't know exactly quite what their secret sauce is, but I think it's most orgs are really struggling, and I almost like. Do you think that like if a publisher really wants to stay in esports, kind of going back to like what kind of MLG was trying to do you think that they should just be like, screw it, we're gonna just own? We're gonna create 16 teams, and we're just gonna own it, and we'll own the entire system, and then they just farm out the operations of the league itself. So kind of like a COD model, but in the sense that like they sold the COD franchises and people were paying 50 million, but it's just like the publisher owns the team itself, and therefore all of the revenue is theirs already, and then they just like farm out to like maybe ESL or whoever just to run the league. I don't know. I don't know what the secret sauce is. But
man, that's a tough one, because it's just a lot of the time when you outsource, it just becomes complicated. I feel like the EA needs to just, or like whoever it is, these top orgs trying to set these need to have, if you're running a game esports wise, you should have an outline for how everyone can win, instead of it being like, here's a tournament with a bunch of money, figured out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
I think that lack of structure gives the orgs a lot less like confidence to invest in games just in the unknown. Just from talking to a lot of these, you know, higher ups at the companies, it's just like, and like I said, that's why like games like Halo with the skins and right away having these plans and help for the orgs and say, this is what we're going to do for you, having this right away. And then the orgs need to be the one that lock down the players more on, I think, harsher boundaries within contracts to make sure that everyone's holding up their end. If the orgs have to put out a certain amount of content to get the help from, you know, these developers to put their skins and stuff in the game, which I think should also be, you know, from the top, it just starts at the top, goes down and down and down. To earn these large contracts that we've seen in esports, like, you should have to do more work, I'm sorry, than just like,
right.
Like, I mean, people in the professional sports, like, they can't turn down interviews or they get fined. Like,
right.
you know, they're like, if we're, and I know we're not there yet, but I think like, we're also kind of spoiled for what we do. And it starts as like, once they start setting the bar and people stop getting away with it and these salaries stop getting inflated for just certain things, then like that's when we're get back into the right track of
Dude,
where esports should be.
The salary inflation. I remember entering in with reciprocity, and it was just like, I remember Hector just being annoyed too, which is completely fair, but it was like a land rush of, I have these investors, I have my deliverables that I have to do. It's like, we need you to, we want you to aggressively expand. We want you to have all of these teams. And it's like, okay, well, how do you do that? Well, you have to pay. So then you're talking to these players. It's like, okay. Yeah, Chad, like, we know you from PGL. Okay. Yeah, we're interested, but like, you got to do better than this. And it's like, you got to offer them enough that they would walk away from a big brand, like, you know, NV or whatever. So it just, and everybody was doing that. And there was all this crazy VC money, and it was just not sustainable.
No, absolutely not.
And I actually think that, in conjunction with the Activision Blizzard franchising, I think those two things were a recipe for disaster. I think if Call of Duty franchising, just in my opinion, I think if they would have came out with the franchising model, but they had the price at like $2 million.
The franchising it was insane. Like it
was like 50.
It was unreal. The numbers that they were wanting to put up to get into these leagues with absolutely no way to recoup.
Yeah, I
remember hearing. I was just like, this makes no sense. Like, how do you ever convince anyone of this?
Yeah, I mean,
fraud.
It was insane. And I was in their meetings, and I saw like the revenue projections and how they're wanting the teams to make money. And I'm just sitting there, and coming from PGL, and obviously PGL was like this little boutique, tiny event company. But at the end of the day, I'm like, events, like we're not out of state. Like, you're projecting like pro sport. Like, I'm just like, this is not. This is just not where we're at, and this is setting up everyone to be disappointed. If they would have just had realistic expectations and lower barrier to entry, I think everyone would have been happy. Like, no one would have been pissed if, you know, it was a $2 million franchise fee and like things were modest. But when you're spending, you know, $30+ million, and like they had to build arenas, and it was insane.
They could have done a 32 team franchise league with $2 million if it was $2 million for a league spot.
Yeah,
like they probably could have sold 32 different teams for that, and then
100%.
It would have been like an actual league of teams, of sports teams, and this and that, and player and all that. I mean, honestly, that is true. I don't know if they could have handled something like that, but they were putting people in these like housings, and they were keeping them in areas for months at a time. I mean, they were doing that at the start, which is kind of crazy. Going back, I was never involved in that.
Well, okay, so speaking of like housing and kind of bringing it back to like your legacy. So I remember in an interview, which this is sad, dude, and like, you know, and this is a common thing, but you'd said there was only like 4 years in your career where, you know, you felt like you had like solid relationships with like your teammates. One of the things that like I tried to do, and this sounds like super corny, but with reciprocity, was like we were doing all this content, and we were trying to intermingle the teams, and I was trying to like create an environment where to get people out of their shells and like to kind of have some type of
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is fun. Remember being like getting those dinners up top in
yeah,
Vegas and
I try to just like create some type of relationship building activities. But do you think like and with what we did with reciprocity, I think is maybe a mistake because we had like a couple properties and we had the players live there. But I think in retrospect, I don't know if that is a good idea because in terms of having them to live together, because you're playing, which is work, and then you could maybe get frustrated with your teammates, and then you're leaving that, and then you're still trapped in the same house with them, and there's no break. And I think like
no, I don't think housing
that's
really
healthy.
works.
Yeah, I don't know if that's healthy.
I think apartments work the best because like I had that with Envy. I lived with like Marcus or Alumni, and then there were like COD players all living in different areas, and you could choose to live with like one person if you were comfortable with that, and it was the best. I think, but that's just expensive. I mean, like it is super expensive. Pricey. Like, what you're gonna house like a bunch of like,
yeah, like, literally overactive media. Like, they have a whole row.
Look like it's crazy. And then at that point, like, are you making use of the time? And you can get content out of that, but like, I mean, what are you watching film? Are you doing this? Like, that's where the contracts would have to be regimented to where it's worth what the orgs are putting in and back and forth, but. That's tough to ask for a lot of young people that probably haven't lived out of their house.
What do you think? But like, but going back to like with like trying to build relationships with teammates and stuff, like what I find, and it's not just unique to esports. This is like entertainment industry 101, dealing with talent. Like it's such a competitive industry. Yeah. Everyone is judged based on their results, their likes, their engagement. Like it's such it's such an exhausting really industry to try to make it in. But like is that kind of play a role too in terms of trying to have authentic relationships with teammates, or because like I guess what I'm trying to say is because it can be cutthroat and like people can backstab and like can you trust them? Like it's crazy.
My best times were all natural. Like my best times with my teammates, like Straight Rippin' were, or like Evil Geniuses and some of the MV teams, like they were all very natural friendships that weren't like forced. Like we chose to get our own house, or like we chose to talk to the orgs about living close to each other. It wasn't like, hey, we're telling you that you need to do this type of experience, because that is like a scary experience for I think a lot of like new people that might not even know how to really live on their own.
Right.
And then
you're taking a high school student.
Yeah, like I know, I've known. I was like, I'm telling you, I was living out there. Like I don't want to name names, but there were people that were like kind of adulty and 20 years old or over, and they didn't know how to like turn on the oven properly. And I'm just thinking like this is not real,
right?
And like then you're throwing a bunch of people into a house together and like different personality. It's just, if it's natural, I think it's fair, but forcing it isn't. I don't know if that's ever.
Yeah.
For me, it would work to an extent until like you get like frustrated. It's like having an outlet or like a way to get out is good. I don't know. I think at times though, like sending them to areas and doing team building exercises, I think is a way to naturally like form that. But to just like force it right off the bat is a bit aggressive.
Yeah, and I do think that people do need that separation. Like you do need that break to be like, okay, we've been gaming for 8 hours, and like I need to not, imagine
I've been like pissed getting off scrims before, and like if my teammates are right next to you, I'm like, dude, I can't not think about like this one play that you just fucking choked on like so bad. Right. And I was like, are we not going to talk about this? And you're just like, it's like no, or like they can't stop bringing it up, and it just gets battle.
What
it's personality based? I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, definitely personality based too, and I find too with the talent industry, and there's a lot of big personalities, and when you're building teams, you have to be mindful of that too, right? Because like there's got to be that chemistry, and you were saying Straight Rippin'. So walk me through your first kind of big break to get into professional esports. And I remember there was like a controversy or something, like you got dropped last minute or something, you got screwed out of like,
there was so much, like everyone thought I was like a fake because I was supposed to go to one Halo 2 tournament, and my ride didn't pick me up like the Thursday before the event. Everyone thought I just like frauded.
Flaked out.
Yeah, and like I remember like neighbor removed me, and I was devastated, and like most people thought, because I was like an online warrior, and then Halo 3 came around, and I just kind of farmed, and I played with Eli Gunshot and Silent, and just got 7th at my first event. And this was like 256 teams were selling out every single one of these events in like 20 minutes, like not even like. So these events sold out fast, but then I just kept going from team to team.
So, but you're saying at that point, basically for Halo 3, then, so you were just grinding.
Yeah. Oh, the game people were playing because I didn't go to the Halo 2 tournament. I had no reason to like. The game ended. Halo 3. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play the new Halo. And there was like another month of Halo 2 tournaments left, so every old pro was just grinding H2, and I was like 14 or I was like 15 years old, and I had a month head start on every single one of these pros, and I was probably the best player in the game by the time they started playing. And I remember just playing in these lobbies and getting kicked from pro lobbies because they didn't want to play against me at that. It was so funny. Wow. Shockwave and Gandhi, and I was talking trash. I was just this little like squeaky 15-year-old, just like as if I'd already won events, just like talking as if like these guys are shit. And it was so funny. And then I just got picked up and just I got picked up by a good team and worked and fought, and then noticed like right after I went to my first LAN.
Isn't that crazy? So like you're just grinding matchmaking, and you're just so good that like the pros are like, oh, who the hell is this guy? Let's get him into customs, and then that networking led you to actually get on.
Pretty much, yeah. Well,
crazy.
Halo 2 is when I made a name for myself, because there's this guy, his name was like Sorty, and he threw me in a lobby with Strong Side, and I think it was
okay.
Oh my gosh, was it Soviet? It might have been Soviet, but there was another guy with free for all person that just kept getting. I kept getting third every round, but they were impressed. I got friend requests, and they started inviting me to more lobbies after that. And it was kind of just networking from there. But I was never much of a networker. I just kind of like played really well, and it just got recognized.
It was funny because like you touched on too, like the talking trash. One of the things that like pissed me off so much about modern gaming is like, do you remember in Halo 3, like you'd go into like social big team or whatever, and it'd be like 16 people in there, and everyone would just like be screaming at each other. It was hilarious. Oh, yeah. And now they've made it so introverted that they've conditioned people. Like you search Halo Infinite now, nobody's using a mic. No. And it pisses, but it's not just to Halo. It's like nobody uses mics. It's all like little private chats. And I'm like, that was a slow condition to curve out toxic behavior. But I'm like, come on, bro.
I'm surprised about that. The more I'm thinking about it, like AI is in everything. Why do we not have an AI voice moderation system that can just like catch when language is used? You turn on a language filter and literally it'll just beeps it out on the spot.
I'm sure
we gotta be close to that, right?
I
want open mic back. Let me like roast this guy, but if it goes too far, the language mic or the thing that's just like constantly learning is like, nope, beep 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 beep. It's just like, that's funny too. Like if you just all of a sudden hear this guy just beeping at you.
Dude, remember in Halo 2, like you'd have like the proximity voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Let me like turn around, 4-shot, bag a guy, talk some shit, and like if I just
it was so good. Honestly, those like obviously I was so young at the time, but like you'd super bounce out of the map, and then you'd be talking shit, and it was just and you'd get people. They would just get so emotional, but that was also strategy because like you'd get in their head. It was honestly proximity voice in Halo was like some of the most hilarious stuff. I'm so sad that they took all that out, and now I think I heard that Activision Blizzard is like recording people's voice when you play COD, and like we'll just store that, and I'm like, that sounds super. Yeah, right. I want to fact check myself on that, but I'm positive I read an article where Activision Blizzard now records conversation in like matchmaking, and I'm like, great, now they'll hold on to that and then bring it up in 5 years, cancel you and throw you in jail. That's
someone's gonna moderate my like voice and make it say whatever.
That's crazy. So so your Gamertag Snip3down, I think like for me that's probably one of the coolest gamer tags, also because you were an amazing sniper as well. At that time, that was a pretty cool name to come up with. Like, how did you come up with that? Because at that time, I had like something stupid like XX space something retarded and then XX, and you actually had Snip3down.
No, I remember I was just grinding with my friends, and I had no name. I think they my friends who made me play Halo 1 forced me to have a name that was like,
So you played Halo 1 a lot?
oh yeah, I played it.
Oh, dude, I love Halo 1.
Grinded Halo 1. That's where it all started. That's like where I didn't own an Xbox, nothing, and my friends would have after school like LAN parties. One of my best friends right now is James Grant, and he knew how to like system link 4 boxes together. We'd have 16 people get on the bus to go to his house. He had like a pool in his backyard. This is where the hangout spot was, like big time.
Did you play on Xbox Connect?
Yeah.
Did you?
XBC?
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Dude,
absolutely, man. Yeah,
love
you
that.
The horrible ping, the servers you'd have to join and all that. Yeah, that's like where online play started before.
Yeah, I would only host. And I'd create like to try to get people to join my lobby to be like, Canada versus US.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, dude, it was just amazing. Like those were just some of the best memories I have as a gamer was that. And yeah, that's just, they forced, like, I remember the first time I went over there, and they had these parties all the time. I went over there and I was basically third best right away behind 2 of them that grinded nonstop. They were friends that lived next to each other, so they played all the time at XBC, just with duo, and they knew everything. And they forced my mom, who picked me up, to buy me an Xbox. Like, forced her. Yes. it was like a non-conversational topic. It was like, he needs to play. He is so good. We need him here consistently. Make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a similar story. I was a PlayStation guy. My uncle had bought an Xbox. I played Halo for maybe all of like 5 minutes. We were playing multiplayer, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen."
Yeah, it was
bought
so
it that
good.
day,
it was so
and it was
simple,
just like obsessed.
So
clean,
like chess match oriented. Like it was just position. Oh my gosh, it just was so clean compared. Now the market is just saturated now. So
I know
it's a lot harder to like be a standout game, but Halo at that time, there was nothing else, and it was the game. It was so much fun.
So then why? So kind of segue into. So we both love Halo. You know, we've both been obsessed with it. So you made a big decision to leave Halo, leave that behind to join Apex. What was kind of the biggest driver to do that? And because like that's always scary going
the first time or the second time.
I guess let's talk through. So go through both. Go through both scenarios of that.
The first time was easy. I mean, I just didn't want to keep competing in old Halo titles anymore. I was like, dude, it was Halo Reach titles, and I was just, I was like, I hated this game. There's just no way I'm okay with consistently playing a game I don't want to play. I was like, it just sounds horrible. Ghost Ayami got into my ear and was like, dude, this game, you got to play it. I helped develop it. Like, I'm telling you, it has the sauce, is the way he words it. And it did. And I loved it immediately and just got hooked. I was like, I got nothing else to play, and just grinded. It was like the first game that I had ever grinded as hard as Halo, like when I was in love with it. So that was it.
Well, and then, didn't we, because you competed in a tournament under Reciprocity. What we still had at that point? I think you guys got second or
X
something.
Games. Second at X Games, yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy.
X Games Minneapolis, and I could not believe it.
Actually, you won an MVP award or something there too.
Yeah, I did. I won like a... Yes, that's like where it all began for me. It was huge because those are sick Reciprocity jerseys too. Those were the black and orange ones.
It was like a soccer jersey. Yeah, kind of like a soccer.
It was like, that jersey was sick, and I was playing with the 2 kids from Finland.
Yeah. And Kyle really pushed for that.
Yeah, and those kids I'm still so angry at because they took the worst offer I've ever heard from SSG. It might have been like, I don't, who was it? No, it was G2. It was like $1,000 a piece and 40% of the prize money. It was the worst I could, and because they were so dedicated with playing with this third that had never been to a LAN and was like 16. And we're like, no, we told him we'd play with him after we just got second at X Games, and I got MVP for most kills, like by like multiple. And I'm to this day still mind blown at like that decision. It was every one of their first LANs. Like no one had been there. I was like, you guys don't realize how difficult it is that what we just did.
That is actually.
I was like, you guys don't understand how hard that was. You guys went to your first LAN and just think that this was easy. Like you guys.
And I'm so glad that you were like a controller player too, because I remember
I was one of 2 there.
I remember having conversations with people that would get like heated about a controller player can never compete with a mouse and keyboard. And I was like, listen, like I've played games where I'm using controller, and I'm like, you can't obviously I'm no pro, but I'm like, with the people that I'm playing with, I'm like, you can't tell. Like, there's no, as if you're decent enough. And I think there's so many people that wanted that story and that narrative around that to fail, and then you just shut that down.
They did want it to fail.
I know.
Everyone was we were probably the most underrated team at that whole tournament. Everyone thought we were just going to be horrible, and then and then that put controller on the map. Like, it straight up did. A lot of people started playing controller after that.
So is there, and so I see like Dr. Disrespect and I guess everybody now is like, oh, those friggin' controller guys, like they now have switched the narrative that controller
got nerfed.
That controller's easier. Like, if you're only beating me because you're on controller, I'm like, guys, like, I mean, controller what is it? Is it? Okay. Is it?
Yeah.
What? Because they have auto aim on it, or aim assist?
It's just more simple. Like,
yeah, I can't play
iPhone
keyboard,
easier to use than, like, I mean, it's just more simple. Like it's got 2 joysticks for movement, where you got 4 keys and a whole mouse for like all the aim, and like it's just more simple. It's all right there in your hands, like right there cramped up in your hands, where a keyboard's like stretched out. The ability, like the skill gap of the skill gap is so much more narrow for controller of how good you can be than mouse and keyboard, and I think that's what it is. And
I hear that if you use the Wolverine controller, that you can be even like better.
Wolverine
like,
V3 Pro 8K PC specifically.
Yes, exactly. You know what's crazy,
right here, man? This thing's actually I won't lie, man. This thing's actually so sick.
So hilarious on that. Do you remember Matt Ninenbar, the content guy from Rossi? So he's in London right now. He just launched one of his movies, Night's War, and is premiering in London for him. And then he texts me and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And I open it. It's a screenshot. It's of you in like posing in like a jersey for Razer with all these Razer products, and I'm like, I know, dude. This kid, yes, yeah.
No shot. I'm in London.
Yeah. I'll DM it to you.
That's
and
incredible.
I was just like, I'm like, I know
they had that here in like Texas and a couple of North American stores. I didn't realize that made it all the way out there. That's actually so sick.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is super cool. Yeah. The Razer stuff. I'm like, it's the best brand I've ever worked with. Like, it's just been so much fun.
And they've always been a supporter of Halo, like for a long time. Like way back. That reminds me too of crazy story. Do you remember? I think this was. I can't remember if it was 2018 or 2019. It was you, Trippy, Tom. Like Ogre 2 was the coach. There was like we had to deal with some crazy person made a threat on somebody. I can't remember. It was a player that they were going to like hurt somebody at the live event. And I hired security, and the guy was like Danny Glover. And do you remember this? We had the cop, and he would like follow us to the.
I know what you're talking about. Yes, that was
that was so wild. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Trippy. I'm pretty sure.
Was it Trippy?
I thought it was Trippy.
Was it Ola? Because it was me, Ola, Trippy, Lucid.
I think so.
Saiyan.
Yeah, I think so. It was in Atlanta. I remember Atlanta specifically. But I was just like, that was such like, we used some service, and then the guy shows up, and he's, I don't know, like 65 Danny Glover from Jumanji.
Oh my god, I do remember this. Yes, I remember this guy just being there. I was just
and he's so escorting. I know, escorting us back and forth. Oh, so funny. You guys got second in that event, I think.
Yeah.
So that was actually a good. That was a.
We always got second.
We're always so close.
Yeah, no.
I remember there was real bullshit. I think it was at a World Finals, or was it like you guys got you were getting momentum, and it was on a map I hate.
Dude, on Rig.
Yeah, I fucking hate that map.
Me,
by the way,
Sparty, Penguin.
Yeah, that was rough, dude.
And Mikwin?
Yeah, it was Mikwin. Yeah, that was rough.
God, that was so stupid.
That completely took the wind out of the sails. You guys had momentum. It was clear that you guys were going to come back.
Spartan didn't get another kill after that. I remember that specifically. I remember at the same time as that, Camo was coming up, and Penguin was sitting on Camo for like 4 seconds waiting for it. I think we had a wrong Camo call. and everything fell apart after that. It was like, oh my, we lost all power weapons, we lost camo, and it was just chalked. And that was like a $60,000 swing.
Oh, dude,
I remember it was a $60,000 swing to make it to finals, and we were like firing too. Like finals, I think would have been really good.
Yeah, my gut was like drop. It was just like an empty pit.
It
in my
sunk.
stomach.
It was
like,
so
no.
bad. It was game 7.
Dude,
oh my gosh,
that was that was so
brutal.
frustrating. What do you think that like so you're retired right now, but is that like, do you think you'd ever come back? Let's say the next Halo comes out. It's the greatest thing we've ever seen. It's on all consoles. So now like there's like this huge push because you have dual the access to people. Do you think that you'd ever come back, or is it just like you're just going to focus on content right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm focusing on content to an extent. I mean, I just turned 34 this year. Like I love competing. Yeah, for real. I love competing. I need to have the serious urge to want to put in the because the biggest thing that I notice, it's not like, yes, hand-eye coordination to an extent. I think my smarts are still there. I genuinely think I need to play more to retain than I used to. Whereas like in the past, I could, once I grind, I would just have that skill, and I could just get back on. It would take me no time at all to get back and just start firing. Like now, like I take a week break, I get back, and I'm like, whew, like I gotta like reassess the senses, like everything I was doing before, especially.
You like lower your sensitivity down. And
sometimes, like especially in Apex, where like there's so many different characters with so many different abilities that you have to like play in certain roles. Halo, I think, is a much simpler game, so I think it'd be more. Like,
what if Halo had like some like battle royale kind of casual tournament?
I would love that. Yeah, I would absolutely play that kind of stuff.
But,
like I would love for Halo to just have a scene that I could casually play, because I mean it's just a game I've loved to play. Like I would love to be able to stream that game casually and enjoy like a good solid viewer base of nostalgia. And I kind of thought that's what Infinite was going to be when it came out. I was hoping it was going to kind of be like Halo 5, where it had Warzone and these playlists that could have like micro purchases or whatever to help pay to win whatever in some areas as well, like with a good system and just more fun casually with like I don't know, like that's what I miss about Halo. Now it's like it's sweaty, it's
so sweaty.
Grinders play the game anymore. Like it's just not a casual game. It feels like it's just everyone's just kind of negative with their opinions of what it should be. And
if you're shit like me and you go to search, like it's not a fun experience right now, because it's just the pool is like only the hardcore who've been playing consistently. And it's just it is a sweat fest, and I never have that much time to play anymore, so I'm so bad. But I still love it, and definitely when the next Halo comes out,
I do love it too. I've been watching the competitions.
Yeah, I'll definitely get like the next Halo, and I do really hope that it is on PlayStation and that we have like a big swing. Because selfishly as well, like all of these old gamer friends that I've built up over the years, they've all kind of just, dissipated, like specifically because Halo has, not done overly well. And, they just kind of drop off or play Destiny or, just stop playing altogether. But I think if Halo really had a strong comeback, it would bring a lot of people out of the woodworks, and it'd be fun to kind of play with all of those Halo 3 tryhards that I used to play with back in the day. It'd be fun seeing all those guys.
I bet if a good Halo comes out, all my old school friends would get back together. I would be like, I'd put a group chat together and be like, we got to make this happen.
Right? No,
I won't be an asshole. I'll use like bottle weapons or something.
Dude, it's so honestly, like again, I do wish, I do hope nothing for the best of Halo. I know that they had. It looks like kind of a bit of a clean house, like a lot of senior management. There was a shake up there. So I'm hoping that, that is a sign of positive change. I know they changed their name to Halo Studios, which whatever, like that's unnecessary.
It changes nothing.
It changes nothing really. But it's like, I appreciate that they're trying to say, we're trying to, the past is the past and we're building for the future. So we'll see,
Yeah,
they deserve a little. To be fair, they deserve a little bit of skepticism because, it's been a bit of a rocky road. And I'm out here like I don't even know what I'm playing. Like I'm occasionally playing Path of Exile 2, which that is kind of like been struggling, and I'm waiting for that to actually fully fucking release. And I don't know, a little bit of Doom. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of just really waiting for Halo.
Did you ever play that Call of Duty arcade zombies?
Uh, no, that's a lie. Way, way, way back when zombies first came out and was like first a thing, I played that. But ever since then, no. Like I've always just been
not the zombies mode, but they had this like arcade zombies where
no. I didn't
it's
even know.
almost like a full blown. You're playing like a GI Joe character with power ups
Oh,
spread around the
interesting.
field, and it had like you're aiming on like a axis, like like this, and shooting things that are coming out of the corner. And big enemies, you level up, get to level 40, you fight some mega boss, and like you could play with 4 of your friends. It was
That's
such
pretty
a
cool.
like check it out sometime. Like I'm telling you, it was one of the
That's
most fun, like casual split screen, something you'd play at like it was like a party, like something you'd play with your homies in your college housing with your friend. Like that's when I played it, or we were just chilling, and I was like, Halo has the ability, like it just feels like they've had so much change that everything gets half finished or
yeah.
like mid completed and then shut off, and then a no person takes over, scraps it, wants their own idea, and goes this, and it's just like Halo has the Halo Wars, it has Halo books, it has Halo action, it has every single thing you could ever imagine, like the Roblox universe of Halo, and we've had, I feel like, the bare minimum or like regurgitated content that then is turned to like fan made or like force map stuff, and I'm just thinking like
Yeah.
how it almost felt like it had everything. It was almost like too big to fail in my eyes, and I just hope that I don't know what it is. I see the vision, I see what's there and what's possible, and I think that's like the biggest gut wrench.
But even just like little decisions that I think have a major impact. And again, this is just my hot take, but launching the game without ranked Team Slayer and without ranked doubles and some of these standard playlists that have like is just mind blowing. Because again, I love MLG and I love like the arena playlist. That's great. But
yeah, Splitgate did the same thing. It launched without any ranked.
And it's just like, what do you do? Like I remember, like think about when Halo 3 first launched. I remember seeing like, I think it was around 500,000 concurrent people searching Team Slayer ranked. And obviously a large portion of the population are going to play those competitive but more casual playlists. So it's like I never understood why they didn't launch with ranked, and even with like you said, Splitgate. I've been playing actually Splitgate a little bit because I actually like
the gameplay is great.
I like it, and but again, one of my buddies that I sometimes play with, we're just like, okay, we play like 3 games, and you're just like great, like my XP bar is going up. Like what are we doing? I want ranked. So to launch without rank was I don't understand. Like delay it until like some of those little things are, I don't know how that can slip through the cracks is a little bit wild. A little bit wild to me.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious what Splitgate's going to do with. I like that the fact that they said they took the game off the shelf a little bit and kind of went back to beta.
Yeah,
I think something like in a game like them where they're really trying to find their identity, besides like getting like the back end stuff, when it comes to the game, maybe just do like open playtest again of like different styles or something that like is hot in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's not like a crazy big switch, but it's just something, just open playtest, be like, this is our testing, we're looking for feedback, and then having people play it and giving feedback in that way. Like getting the community involved to an extent to show that like you're really like caring and listening, and but also not like panicking in the back trying to figure out what to do with your game. Like, so it stays relevant, it stays community focused, it stays all of that.
You know what? Whose approach?
Kind of fizzle out.
Yeah, you know whose approach to that I really liked, and it's unfortunate that they went belly up, but was that studio that Dr. Disrespect had. What was it, Dead Drop or something?
Deadlock,
it was like
no, I know what you're talking about.
It was like an NFT type game or blockchain game. But what I liked about their approach was every time they kind of hit a milestone, like it was community feedback along the way, and the community was really heavily involved, and they were doing little fun, like pretty substantial tournaments in like really early phases throughout the game. And I'm like, that was such a I've never seen that before. And I'm like, that's a really cool way to build community. The community feels like ownership and like helping
Yeah,
craft it. And it's just such a shame that that went belly up. And but I had really high hopes for
I
that.
actually
But
never played that.
I did. I downloaded. I tried it. It was still like very very early, but I
Mhm.
liked the idea of like the extraction was kind of cool. It's like Neil Blomkamp's game as well, which is fun. I love his art direction. I love like I'm a big fan of that movie director. I don't know if you've ever played it. I think it's called Off the Grid.
I've heard.
But
Oh yeah, I've heard of it definitely. I mean, yeah,
it should be a movie. Like
yeah.
it looks like I'm sure he tried to like it looks like it should be like a show or a pitch. And speaking of that, are you playing like besides like let's say like Apex? Do you play off stream? Do you play casual games that?
I mean, I was playing like Marvel Rivals. I played
Yeah.
TFT a little bit in the back
Do
a
you ever
while
play
back.
Elden Ring or any
No,
games like
my
that?
stream is wanting me to play Elden Ring.
Mm.
They want me. I think they want to see me rage.
Yeah,
And
I
that game
beat that
seems like
game.
Did you?
It's the hardest game. Now, when I say I beat it, but I was watching a tutorial how to like figure shit out because
Yeah.
there's stuff in that game that I'm like, listen, if you're an adult and you work a 9 to 5, I'm like there's like this key that you have to find that gives you a vague um, like reference of where to find it, and it's like hidden in this little corner. I'm like, and the map is massive. It's probably the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah, yeah.
open world game. I'm like, I would never fucking find that
Is it
ever.
bigger than Skyrim?
Yes, it is. It's the
Oh my
biggest.
gosh.
Dude, there's like a side quest which I did to get this awesome like ice sword. I forget what it's called,
Yeah.
but it's a moon sword, or and it doesn't matter. It's like a side quest, optional, and the underground like world to do this is as big as like some RPGs. Like it is the best. I think, in my opinion, it's probably the best game since like Halo 3. Like it
Wow.
launched like it worked. There was no updates. This was like the best out of box experience I've ever played in a game. Extremely frustrating, but it is if you can manage that level of frustration, it's one of the best games I think ever made. It's unreal, dude. So definitely that'd be a fun like you're like, and again, keep in mind you're supposed to fail in that game. Like you'll it's a troll game. Like you'll walk around a corner and something will like one shot you. Like it's just it's a troll
Yeah.
game, but it's
I haven't Skyrim,
it's fun.
dude.
Yeah,
I love
Skyrim's
Skyrim.
amazing,
Yeah,
dude. That
dude,
is
that's one of my
amazing.
favorite games ever.
Yes, I've been playing
It's
a little
not
bit of
Elden
the
Ring
Oblivion.
Night Rain, is it? It's the other one.
No, it's well, there's Elden Ring, and then they came out with an expansion as well, which I haven't played the expansion yet.
Is that
But yeah,
Night Rain? I'm assuming
I think Night Rain is this.
it's a standalone adventure within the Elden Ring universe, crafted
Yeah,
off players to do.
it's
I'm
not.
checking out like the viewership.
That's
on
a
this.
that's a 3 player co-op game that they
Okay.
just came out with. I don't know too much about that. I just know
Yeah, I
that
mean, I
it's
kind of
a
I
co-op,
wouldn't
but-
mind. I kind of want to play
It's
Elden
kind of-
Ring. My
it's-
stream's been trying to convince me for a while.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's always fun to watch like other pros.
You play on like
play
max
this.
difficulty?
Well, this game there is no. So this game so how it works is it's just like add difficulty, and then once you beat the game, you can replay it, and it gets harder. So every time you beat the game, now I beat
Okay.
it, and then I went into like the second world
You get
of
to keep
it.
your stuff.
You get to keep all your stuff,
Okay.
but the enemy's health and everything is harder. And I
Yeah,
haven't.
so it's
purposely-
essentially like you really yeah.
yeah. And I just like kept my stuff and been not purposely trying to beat it, just like free roam with all my cool gear, but definitely worth checking out. Have you ever had, I mean, since working with you, just jumping the topics on for a moment, but since working with you, like you've come a long way of building your brand. Like, I mean, I think you have, like over 600,000 followers on Twitch or something, which is insane. And over 200,000. Like, have you ever had any crazy, like fan, like crazy stalkers or anything like that? Like, I know like we said before, we had to get that police guy when there was some crazy threats
There's been
made.
people that have just like said some crazy shit online, but it's just one of those things where
You're just like brush it off and
like there's not much I can do about it.
yeah.
I'm not.
But you've never had like someone
like
knock
not
on
like
your
that.
door?
No,
Yeah,
I mean I did have a guy. This was kind of strange. I mean the guy ended up being cool and all, but I was just like here in a parking lot picking up like Chipotle or something, and was just sitting in my car for a second. This guy just like walked over to my window and started knocking on the window, and I was like,
and he recognized, yo, Snip3down, man.
Literally, he's like, yo, are you Snip3down? And I was just like, hey, man, if like, yeah, like, it was, what's up, brother? Like, it was fine. It ended up being a cool conversation, but
do you have?
I just can't imagine, like, as a woman, if I would be like completely, it'd just be like a completely different situation here. But
do you have?
No, I'm good.
Have you ever had like any cool? And you don't have to say their name, but have you had any cool like celebrity people try to play with you, or do you ever play with like?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, some really like one of the coolest experiences. I won this K Jewelers like fat Super Bowl diamond ring with Baker Mayfield and my homie Fallout, and then it was like this sponsored by some like rap. It was this big ordeal thing. It was super cool. Something Records, and that was cool. And then Gordon Hayward is kind of he went to a school right next to me, and he's brought me up in like a couple articles about being his favorite player, like tweeting something out. Like, and Baker apparently was like a fan of me at some point before he went pro in football. I was like, dude,
that's so cool,
super super cool, and it's so weird being
that
like these were people I was looking up to when I was younger for the things they're doing. Now it's like I'm like old, and now it's like I'm looking at like 22-year-old quarterbacks in the NFL, and I remember thinking back to them at like when I was younger, thinking they're so much older and so much like
they're harassing. Yo, Eric, can I get in your lobby, bro? That's so funny.
Yeah, just playing with them, like they not like that. I mean, just some really cool people to play with in general. Just even meeting professional athletes.
Dude, I used to play.
Is awesome.
I used to play. Tom Ryan Ogre too. He would have like community like streams to play Halo, like Halo CE, and I was in there for a while active, and that was like a fun experience. Halo CE is still like probably my favorite. I just love like how far you can throw the grenades. I like that you can blow the rocket.
Yeah,
the catch rocket and those, and then the biggest thing is the 3-shot pistol kill. Like that time to kill was because I could never do like properly the like quad shot in Halo 2 and stuff like that. So but the 3-shot pistol, I played, dude. I think I played like sensitivity in Halo 1 specifically, like 2 or something, like really really slow, which is crazy. But because like playing those long maps like Hang 'em High or whatever, where like shooting across map and you get those 3-shot kills,
it felt so good,
so good.
Yeah.
It'd be. I've heard. Have you heard rumors of like that they're remaking that? Is that?
I have heard like some rumors around that, but like why? They've already remade Halo 6.
That's what I thought. Wouldn't
also,
it be Halo
BGCTF or Halo 1? Sorry, it's Halo 1. But BGCTF was like my favorite game type ever.
You could throw throw a grenade across the map and it would like flip the Warthog.
You were asking where it came up with my name. It was kind of from that because I was always on those big perches with a sniper rifle. Like,
you were that guy. Man.
I was sniping the flags who were driving off with Warthogs, like all that. Yeah.
So fun, dude. I remember. Do you remember on Blood Gulch? There was like crazy exploits. You'd like get the ghost and you could crawl up the side of the wall, and then like you could get out of the map and it's like all white, and then like you could push your teammate to the top of the map by hitting them off some angle or something like that, and, there's so much fun stuff, dude. There's that was a dude.
Halo 2 is Halo 1 is my favorite game in terms of like social with friends locally. Halo 2 is my favorite in terms of like growth. Like that game just felt like, Xbox Live is actually a thing, not having to force XBC games. Servers, like all that, it was fine, and like it was just that was it. It came alive.
Totally, that revolutionized so much stuff. And one thing that I wanted them to bring back, and I don't know why they never did, was in Halo 2 was, do you remember clans? And they had like
ranked I love the clan matches, ranked clan matches. Yeah, I love it. Big team, and small team clan match. Yeah,
and I was like, why did that go away? Like that's such a simple, easy win.
Honestly, you could do that in Apex too.
Yeah.
You could do that in Apex. Create like a 10-team clan, and that is like your ranked leaderboard at the end of the season. Like you could do that in a lot of games and just make it some sort of like.
I think it's a great community thing.
It is,
and especially because they had leaderboards on this site, bro. Like I remember going like you
Bungie.net.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Was like the coolest website ever to go and see like your rank, how close you were to leveling up, because you couldn't tell.
I know. I was so pathetic. I'd win one match and I'd quickly go to the website to see like, oh, it leveled.
Every time.
So funny.
To see
so
how
good.
close you were to leveling, yeah.
So on the ranking, so this is a fun little topic. Do you think like, and this is totally nostalgia, and I'm blinded by the nostalgia, but I still feel the 1 to 50, and then while they had like those like little comments and all the little symbols, I still, for whatever reason, and even with Halo 3, prefer that ranking system over what we have now. And my
100%.
reason is because I think like obviously League of Legends kind of pioneered like breaking it down, but they have such a large audience that maybe it works better. But when you have a smaller audience, I don't know if like segregating people down to like, so I don't know, I just prefer the 1 to 50. And I think for a game like Halo, where it's like kind of a console game and has a smaller base, I feel like that's the better ranking system, man. Like I think the community sentiment has consistently been that.
The Halo 2 and Halo 3 ranking system, I genuinely feel like has not been replicated well by a single game since. And I don't understand. People got upset because it was hard. Like, you got level locked in Halo 3.
Yeah.
Like you did. Like, it got to the point where, like, if you kept winning and losing and you were, like, 50% at level 44, like, you got hard stuck 44 because it would take you, like, 8 games in a row to win to get to 45 to even come close to, like, breaking your win record that it has to be to hit the next tier.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. Like it sucked for some people, but it was cool. And then you'd rank up in that tier, and then you'd be a 5-star brigadier general instead of a 5-star, or you'd be a 5-star brigadier instead of a 5-star brigadier general, something like that. And then Halo 2 was just beautiful. Halo 2's ranking system was so beautiful, and no one got to a 50 until the very end of the game. That was the first time someone reached the highest level in Halo 2 legit. Was like right before the game ended, pretty much.
The highest I ever got was in Halo 2 was 36. That was my pride and joy. And then I would, anything higher than that.
36 was solid.
Was like, you'd get hacked a lot. Like it was just like, this is, I wasn't good enough.
The lime green and yellow? Or was that...
I feel like it was yellow and orange or something. The top of it was yellow. I can't remember, man. I can't remember. But I remember I was like,
I remember 37, 38, 39. 37, 38, 39 was blue. Because when you got to the 40s, it turned into the red box around it. 40, 41, 42, 43 was a different like red square. And then 44 was the crescent moon, half moon, full moon.
Did you get that legit?
I got 48. I got 48 legit. And I was one game away from 49.
That's insane.
We got cheated. And when you got to those ranks, like high up like that, it took like 7 wins to get to the one rank up to get to 49. But as soon as you lost one, 0% bar all the way back to the bottom. Like, and after that, I think we lost another game where I got cheated again in a row, and I went down to 47, and I was like, all right, like this is chalk now.
Dude, you know what cheeses me? That just like you just said something there that brings me up to the Halo Infinite ranking is. And again, I know like better people will probably maybe disagree with me on this, but I find like Halo is very much a team game, and I like the formula, which is going back to like the Halo 2 and Halo 3 ranking system, where it's like if I win 4 games in a row or like whatever that number was, I'm pretty sure it was like 4 or something to that effect, you were guaranteed to level essentially, right? If and now it's like you could win those games, but my teammate will get like a little bit more XP than me, and then he'll actually start leveling faster than me, even though we're playing in the same game, but he's performing better than me. But it's like, but he's not calling out. I'm the only one that's calling out, which call outs in Halo is like super important. And it's like, it's still a team game, but like he's getting more XP and he's actually leveling faster than me because he's a better player. And I'm like, I also get the counter argument. It's like, well, dude, I'm the fucking main Slayer. If it wasn't for my fucking OP stats, we'd lose. And I'm like, I get that. But I just feel like from a casual general audience, I think people in a team game, if they win 4 games, I think like, you should.
I also think it promotes bad gameplay. If you have to stand out stat wise to level up properly, so you will like kill more.
Yes.
Just to get the plus
and
15.
Steal my kills, bro. You won't team shot. You'll come in and just steal my kill. I'm like, bro.
I do think it also depends and should be changed based on if you are a party of 4 with your homies
Yeah.
or a solo.
Right.
If you're a solo, give the person the max XP. They're already playing the game hard. They're already either playing without a mic or whatever. They're already playing the game on hard mode when they're matching parties at 3. But if the party's at 3, you don't want to run into getting carried. You don't want to run into someone boosting people consistently and smurfs, like leveling up their friends and stuff like that. Like,
right.
If they can't, I think that could be taken into consideration. But I do think the solo game experience, because that is what a lot of these games have turned into, needs to be more rewarding.
Yeah,
no, it's not even for even for any game I can think of, that if you're a solo and you get stuck in games with 3 stacks of all these other ones, it's like, we're not really playing the same game. I'm playing on like extra hard mode and like getting punished 3 times as hard. So
right?
There's got to be something.
I know, dude. There's got to be. I feel like, given how long that we've had esports and competitive gaming, like, you'd think that this would be something that would have been figured out by now, man. I don't know, dude. But again, I hope Halo Infinite, or it's not Halo Infinite, sorry, whatever the next Halo game is called, I hope that kills it. But we'll have to wait and see. So, dude, I've kept you for an hour. My last question, tough question. So, if you were a team owner, what's something that you would want to implement for to help like your team? Like, given that you've always been on the receiving end of, like, you're the player, you're trying to negotiate contracts, and kind of the what's worked, what doesn't incentivize players. Like, what is something that you would like to, if you could, that you would like to implement if you were a team owner?
I mean, it really.
And money's not an issue. And money's not an issue.
I was about to say, like,
money's not an issue.
This is
fantasy talk here.
I mean, I love bonuses. I love
carrot on a stick.
A proper structured bonus that makes me want to work harder on top of, like, already feeling secure in a sense.
Yeah.
But I also think that orgs should, like, I'm curious when we're going to start getting to the point where orgs are responsible to help build rosters more than emotional players always just, like, picking their friends. Because personally, I feel like just off of playstyles, and I could pick good teams, like, of like players to put together, no bias aside, but you put 3 personalities together of kids that might not like each other, and it just, like, it folds apart. Tough question.
Yeah. Do you think, going back to the bonus, like, so kind of like a podium bonus structure where, if you get, first, you're going to get this much, and what is
like a one-time bonus, like not like a salary, a bonus on top of the salary, but just like a one-time bonus type thing, I think.
Any other sweeteners, or just cash? Like, cash is king. It could be like, you guys get a trip to Hawaii.
No, people don't care about that. Like,
it's just
don't
cash.
Really care about that. It really is like
a new Alienware computer,
or like something custom. Like, if they win something, like the org would get them something custom to make them, like, remember the moment more. Like, okay. I pitched this idea to Apex. Like, I called Shaheen and was like, dude, I have a crazy good idea, and it would be to have, and like, this is like only something that I care about now. Like, who knows? But like, I told them to get like a live painter at these major lands, like the Japan lands, and have them literally paint, like, right before, like, all the teams, and then the winning moment of, like, the team winning or holding the trophy in the front, so they have, like, something other than just the trophy to remember, like, to feel a little more memorable, something like that. It's like, that'd be like, that's
cool. Well, especially because, like, if your team does win, you, like, usually the big trophy keeps the trophy. So then the players don't have, like,
it doesn't really, like, players don't really get the trophies anymore. It just usually just goes straight to the org, and it kind of like it feels good. Like we're winning for this, but at the same time, like the Super Bowl rings are all real nice and like
right,
that kind of stuff. Or
no, that's a cool. No, I like that idea of like miniature. You like the publisher, for instance, could be like, okay, so here's the big version of it, and then we created mini versions of it for the players. I think that's cool because I mean I know that if I won, I would want to have it in my background. That's pretty cool.
I would too.
Right?
I wish I could have some of those moments kind of captured in a different way. Type of thing to look back on.
Totally. Okay. Well, listen, dude, thank you so much, Eric, for your time. This has been a hilarious, fun blast from the past. Thank you for taking the time to do this. And I'm excited to post this. So again, thank you so much, dude. And
keep me posted.
Yeah.
Be in touch for sure. Yep.
All right. Bye.